So the NBA has announced that they have made their set All-Stars for the starters for the 2010 NBA All-Star Game, and they announced for the East it would be Allen Iverson, Kevin Garnett, Dwight Howard, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James. And the West announced that it was Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, Amari Stoudemire, Tim Duncan, and Carmelo Anthony. Now, looking at this, they already decided who made it for the starters, obviously, so I wanted to look at who I thought would be your reserves. And starting with the East, I really think Chris Bosh is going to be there. The guy's averaging 22 points. He's averaging about 12 rebounds a game, which is pretty good numbers for a guy who's not even starting in the All-Star game. Another guy would be Rajon Rondo. The guy's leading the league in steals. He's averaging about 3 steals a game. I mean, he put on at least I think 2 triple doubles this year, which is pretty darn good. And I mean, he's really the point guard, one of the best teams in the East. And if you're a person that goes with winning, Rondo would be your guy. The next person I picked Pierce. I mean, Pierce has had a good year. I don't think him and Allen are both going to make it. I think Pierce has had a better year, so I'd take Pierce. Joe Johnson. The guy's averaging 23 a game. I mean, he's one of the best players in the game. That's just a matter of fact. I take David Lee. David Lee's had one of the best years this year. He's averaging a double-double. I mean, he's averaging about 11 rebounds, maybe about, I'd say 18 points. I'm not positive, but he's having a really good year for the Knicks, and that's the reason why they're in the playoffs right now, because of him. I'd also take Gerald Wallace. The guy's averaging 12 rebounds a game. If you're one of the top five, one of the top three in rebounding, you should be in the All-Star game. And he can score, and he's one of the best players on that team. And I mean, the last guy I would take, you're thinking about different guys. You have Derrick Rose. You got Ray Allen. I mean, there's a couple other guys, but I'd go with Derrick Rose. Some people would go with Noah. I take Derrick Rose because he's the most. He affects his team the most on that team. Noah has a good game, and they all have good games, but Rose is really the guy that does it. But they would be my East selections. My West would be, I have Kevin Durant. The guy's averaging 29 points a game. We don't really have to talk about him. He's one of the best. I'd have Brandon Roy. He's really one of the guys that he's starting to become a really good player. Him and Kevin Durant. I'd also take Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk is Dirk. I mean, he's playing really good this year. He's hit about 4 or 5 buzzer beaters. I mean, he's the difference in 5 wins. I take Darren Williams. That guy runs the Jazz. He averages 12 assists a game. And for me, taking Darren Williams, you have to take Chris Paul. They're both about the same player. Chris Paul's a little better on the assists and steals. Darren Williams scores a little more. I'd take Chris Paul. I'd also take Chris Kaman. The guy's averaging 22 points and 11 rebounds. I mean, if you haven't seen the Clippers this year, you have to watch at least the game of them. Chris Kaman's really good. And the last guy I'd take is Zach Randolph. Nobody knows about this guy because he's playing with the Grizzlies. They're 4 games over 500. The guy's averaging 22 points and 11.5 rebounds. That's pretty darn good. But they're my selections for the All-Star game. Tune in next week to TNT. They're going to show who wins it. Thanks.